So I'm in the berry section of my garden and I'm using the garden bucket I organized. And I thought you might be interested in it. It is using the bucket organizer. And if you remember, I featured this in a prepping bucket. But the real purpose is garden tools. And you know what? It works great for that too. Let me show you. Okay, first off, right here in this pocket, yep, it's my Harry tool. I use this Japanese gardening tool all the time. I actually can cut through branches with a serrated edge. Here's a nice sharp edge. And of course, digging in for planting is great, or digging out weeds. And it even has measurements if you're planting bulbs. So, great tool, and I always use it. Next here, this is probably something I should use more often. You know, I was once pulling up a long viney weed from by the creek, and it went back and slapped me in the face, and soil got in my eye, and believe it or not, I got a soil fungus in my eye, which was 2 months of treatment and seeing spots and everything else. Luckily, I did come out of it okay, but sometimes it's a good idea, depending on what you're doing, to use some goggles. And of course, if you're doing any kind of spraying, always use goggles. And then up here, I just have 2 of the antibacterial wipes. Again, just a quick cleanup when I get my hands dirty. Turn the bucket a little. Okay. These are mud gloves. These really don't have as much protection as some, but they fit me and they're an extra small, which I love. And this bright orange I can find if I leave them laying in the grass. I have more of them right here. These are the heavy duty mud gloves. I don't know if you can see them, rubberized. Great if you're working in wet conditions. I love these. I go through a pair a year because I always seem to get holes in the end. Okay, up here, yep, it's exactly what it looks like. It's when you want to be a garden detective and see exactly what is that bug. You can enlarge it or to see what the eating pattern was. So a magnifying glass can come in very handy. And right here is a pocket that you can put your cell phone in. I don't have mine in here right now, but you know, that's a great idea too, because you can take your cell phone out with you to the garden and run back in the house and leave it, and it's really bad if it rains. Not that I would know or anything. So if I keep it in the bucket here, then I bring the whole bucket back. And if I forgot to even bring the bucket back, at least it gets some protection. Okay, we'll go to the other side here. And here we have some well-known garden tools, right? And this. They both fit nice in this pocket. And below it, I have Leatherman juice. It has a lot of different tools on it, can come in handy. And here is more of a garden multi-tool. Again, often use this. And this is just cheap scissors. It can cut through wire, thinner wire, but it comes in handy for also cutting twine. And you'll see here, there's, oh, I hate to take them out, okay, various zip ties, some larger than others. I find zip ties very, very helpful for plant supports and for little garden construction projects I might have. I'm not the best with tools, but you know what? I'm pretty good with a zip tie. Get these all back in. There we go. Down here, it's just some green wire, and it has its own little thing so you can cut it off. And I can also use this for tying up my tomato plants or other vining crops. Turn a little more. And right here, just a little notebook if I want to remind myself of something. Because often I'll be in the garden and think, oh yeah, I got to do that, or I got to get that. And by the time I get done and get in the house, I've completely forgot what I had to do. So this helps to jot something down. Up in this pocket, just more wire. Here, yep, I don't know about you, but dandelions are my constant enemy in my yard and in my garden beds. So I use this a lot. And I'm not going to take these out. I think you can see them. I use these gear ties to tie up my garden gates and for various other purposes. They really work well. And down here we have my little silky pocket boy. I really love the silky saws. And this often comes in handy for some pruning jobs. Up here we have, why do I have a really large nail? Well, believe it or not, I find it makes holes easy when I'm planting, so I use it as a planting tool. And then I have a Sharpie. And just a knife. Just sometimes that's good for doing a little digging around a plant when I don't want to use my bigger tools. And a spare garden label that I can easily use my Sharpie and write what it is and put it next to the plant. Because I am also notorious for doing plantings and forgetting and coming back out, a week later and thinking I have a weed and pulling it out. So, and down below here, just some jute twine, various purposes. Okay. So that's really it for the outside of the bucket. But we do have the inside, and you notice I don't have it completely full, because if I did, I don't think I'd be able to carry it so easy. Now, for storing in the winter, I might put more in this bucket because I'm really not using it. And I have a lid for it, so it'll keep the mice out of the bucket. So I have bought these. These are new just because they're the Peace mud gloves. I just think they're so cool. So I have them. Yep, from the dollar store, little measuring cups, depending on what you're using for fertilizing your garden. Measuring cups can come in handy. Very heavy tool, but great for cutting in really thick wire. I use this when I'm constructing addition to my fence. Oh, I just threw these in here because something ate all my Swiss chard, so I'm going to be planting some more in the garden. An extra antibacterial wipe. And some older mud gloves. Pretty dingy, but still usable. And these are the gloves that I use like when I'm in something that's really thorny, like maybe I'm pulling a raspberry, a cane, something of that nature. These really protect all the way up my arm. Yep, and then my MAC field guide for my good bugs and bad bugs. And you'll notice that that little magnifying glass can help me identify which bug it is. And something I use all the time, these are the templates I made for square foot gardening. I have a video on it. I'll put it in the little eye here on the side. Love these templates. I've had them for years and years, and I'm going to be using them for many, many more years. And then, this is my own 2017 garden design. So, just in case I don't label something or I wonder what the heck's coming up, I can look here and I can see what I planted. And I keep this guide as, covered with, ooh, the wind really came up there. It's laminated, and so if water gets on it, it's okay while I'm working in the garden. But I always keep my designs because I try to rotate my crops every year. And then, why do I have this? Huh? Am I eating in the garden? Do I need a placemat? No. Sometimes I get up early. Like right now, it's about 8 a.m. It's going to be a hot day, so I'd like to get in the garden early. But sometimes there's still dew on things, or maybe it rained the night before. So I just use this to sit on when I'm working in the garden. So, that is it for my garden bucket. Okay, I should mention where you can get this Apollo garden tool organizer. I bought mine on Amazon, and I'm a Prime member, so I got it for $12.20. But you can also get it if you have a Home Depot near you. You can go into the store, and it's only $12.17. And it's available at Target. And I believe it's $12.19 at Target. So look for the pink Apollo tool. You want to make a bucket like this. I hope you find this bucket garden tool organizer helpful. I know I have, because I have just about everything I need in one place, and I can easily carry it to where I'm working, or I can just use it to store items in the garden shed. This is Potpourri saying please subscribe, share the knowledge, and thank you so much for your support. Thumbs up if you like this video, and if you want to receive notifications of future videos, just click on that little bell below. Thank you.